It's like it happened all of a sudden. You know, it was no great surprise, and yet it was. You wake up one day and you look in the mirror and you think, who is that old guy? You know, I still feel, you know, here I'm 20. Everywhere else, it's a different story, believe me. It's funny when you start talking about babies, you know, and kids will bring new babies into church or something, and I look and I think they're bald and toothless and can't do anything for themselves, and I think I'm heading that way. I'm getting there. Yeah, but you know what? I found that one of the greatest defenses we have against, let's face it, I know I've heard different seniors say, the golden years aren't always so golden. You know what? That's true, isn't it? That's very true. It's not all fun and games. But no, you know what? Nobody ever promised us that life I think would be fun. I wish it were all fun. But we have those reminders, and it comes on us gradually. You know, when all of a sudden you realize that you go out and play, when I get a little older and I go out and play ball with my kids and realize I can't run anymore. I can't jump. I try to take a jump shot on the basketball court and the jump just ain't there. It's just not happening. And so you kind of get used to those things gradually. And I guess for me, one of those defining moments, I don't know, it's been about 3 years ago now or so. Middle of the night, you know, I just had to, well, you know what we do in the middle of the night. And I go downstairs for that, so I went downstairs and I came bouncing back up the steps like I always do. And all of a sudden I got to the top of the steps and had that horrible feeling, like somebody had me in a bear hug and just squeezing the life out of me. And had that moment of realization when I thought, I could be having a heart attack. And for that moment I realized that nothing else mattered but wanting to live. Jobs, things, bills to pay, none of that stuff mattered. All I wanted was to live. And so I did what any man does usually. I just kind of tried to wait it out, and I went to bed and tried to get to sleep and finally did. And I woke Judy up in the morning and I said, you know what, I had this spell last night. And she said, why didn't you go to the emergency room? You know, so I said, well, I'm going to wait a couple hours till my doctor gets in and I'll call him and see what he says. Well, you know what he said. Why didn't you go to the emergency room? So we went to the emergency room. Long story short, a couple days later, I'm the proud owner of 4 stents and realized that I had just graduated to the world of senior citizenry. I'd made it. I'd arrived. I had my stents now. But I had started writing this song a couple years before, and I just never could complete it. I had a verse and a chorus, and I liked the idea. It just wasn't going anywhere. Well, that was I got out of the hospital on Friday. I felt great. I went to church. I did my usual routine on Sunday, which is usually sometimes to sit down with my guitar and just play a little bit and worship and warm up. And I started thinking about that song, and the rest of it pretty much just fell out. And I guess this is my anthem for the age. I have this day, I have this moment, I have this heartbeat, but nothing more. No guarantees about tomorrow, only forever knocking at your door. I could waste these precious moments in worry or in vain, or I could sing just a little bit louder. I could laugh a little bit harder. I could pray a little bit longer this day, this day. I have this life, it is a treasure, it is a gift from God that I did not deserve. I will not waste or take for granted one single moment I'm blessed with on this earth. I could waste these precious moments in worry and in vain, or I could sing just a little bit longer. I could laugh a little bit harder. I could pray a little bit longer this day. This day. Lord, you've given me another chance. You gave me one more song and one more dance. God, give me wisdom to choose the things that I must do to make my life matter most for you. I'm gonna sing a little bit louder. I'm gonna laugh a little bit harder. I'm gonna pray